Vichis, the Tigers, that you can then follow through and take the victories there. Otherwise, you'll find it hard. But here we are, going on to train with Beyond versus Mazaalai, and the pistol round should be going live fairly soon.
I almost wish there was like drone racing within CS. I think Bardolph would be all over that. Probably one of the best.
This is close enough, isn't it? These angles feels very similar. Do you know what I want to try, Jason? You've probably seen it. The actual racing drones with the VR goggles.
Yeah.
They seem sick.
I think you can get like sick really easily from that though.
Yeah, the motion sickness. That's what I was thinking. Especially if you've got one of the tiny ones that are like super fast. If you do a quick 180, I'd say you start getting real dizzy.
Sorry, I don't get anything small. 'Cause I'm a big guy. Got a big nose, a big heart, and hopefully a big brain going into this game to predict how things are. Wow, that was slick.
Yeah, these are such great angles. I love it.
Like threw me off. I'm like, wait, what was I looking at? Oh man, that was amazing. Okay, so Beyond Esports now up 1-0 in the series. Mazaalai currently down. Maybe starting on the T side, and it's up to them. I think again a pistol run here would be a fantastic start for them.
Yeah, well, look, if Mazaalai can find pistol rounds, at least that's a round on the board, which is more than I've come to expect from them after watching that previous map. There is definitely promise, though. Players like Sogu consistently performing. We saw Machine Gun with some great secondary opping as well. Maybe this is something they'll use later on. To start it off, though, the Glocks find the opening duel, immediately eliminating Olivia afterwards as well, and the advantage stemming greatly into their favor. Another smoke thrown down as they go into CT, and May rolls falls. And what is this? Every single fight being won by the T side.
They're just missing all their shots. Finally, QQ comes in and hits something. He gets himself a second kill. But I don't know if he's going to expect a player in towards CT spawn. The bomb's planted towards him. He gets himself a third. Oh, don't tell me he gets a fourth. Doesn't have a kit. He shouldn't be winning the round. There's going to be a player behind him when he does turn around in towards the site. But he does actually kind of split the two. This is so weird. What is happening right now? How's he not been cleaned up? They're so afraid. They don't want to lose this round. And oh my god, don't tell me QQ can pull this off. He had one bullet remaining, but he still gets 4 kills. You just imagine if any of his teammates just get that single kill, maybe that would have been enough to win it out.
Well, I guess if you're just tuning in now and you're wondering, geez, why are these guys being so rude to Mazaalai and saying Beyond are going to stomp them no matter what? Well, that's why. Like, what the hell? They just threw themselves at him one at a time. And, you know, when it's in a 5v1, I can understand it. Especially they were double peeking him. But after that, that's when you got to start taking it very seriously. One more shot hit for QQ, and that was all over. And Mazaalai would have probably forfeited at that point.
Is this interesting to you that they haven't bought anything in the second round? And QQ, who gets a quad kill crit on 3,200, you think they're trying to go for an early op? Yeah,
100%. They're going to take out that second round op. And we talk a lot about how pivotal they can be on a map like Train. Oh, don't kill. They're going to get the kill to Nuez now. They've heard him come up close. Luckily, he looks up in time, but still can't win that duel. Just as long as they don't lose to USPs here, I'll be happy for Mazaalai. But they've got the B side. They've got a plan, so it should be easy. But now, once you're on the CT side, you've got 2K coming in, especially with QQ's 4K. I prefer to see teams taking the eco. If you're on the T side, you lose the pistol, but you get a bomb plant, then you force up. I think that's the one time I agree with it. Other than that, it's a risk, and one that generally won't pay off on a long-range map like Train.
This is getting expensive, though. 3 on 2. 2 AKs left. You can see Olivia trying to come in from behind. Machine Gun going to be watching the angle, however. Still taking damage from both sides. Now she's down to Machine Gun by himself. What is going on? Don't tell me he's able to pull this off. You can see Mai trying to come around the corner. And that will be Mazaalai getting the round, but at what cost?
There's just no way that should have come down to a 1v1, Jason. And very nearly lost the 1v1 as well. Like, it's 2-0 really, though, Beyond are winning this game at the moment. AWP already out for Olivia. They've won the race to the op. And look at Mazaalai. They invest everything they have into this round. All their money spent. And Mac-10's still going to be making an appearance even despite them investing so much. And they haven't been able to contest Olivia's op even when they've had one of their own. So I'm curious to see how this one goes. Even with the lack of utility for the CT side, they make up for that with the duels they've been winning.
I always see Myro's going for the AUG. The rest of them with M4s, they have, you know, a lot of smokes here to delay. I don't know if the Mazaalai are going to expect. Do you think they'll expect an AWP to come out this early?
I think so. They should know because QQ got a 4K and then there was a full eco. At that point, they should be aware that they can come up against an AWP. If they're not, I'd be very worried for how they approach this round. You can see that smoke is thrown down, and the logic for that is if there's a player on stop sign just behind the A bomb site, he actually won't be able to see into main and spot them coming out. It just robs a little bit of information. It's something you need to do if you're going to go for this very concentrated take of upper B. Mazaalai have no map control. At the moment, the CTs could easily have pushed Ivy or T main and be coming up behind them, but they're relying on the fact that that won't happen in a buy round like this. The lack of utility actually kind of hurts Beyond because they haven't got a molly to stop an early push by Mazaalai once that smoke goes down aggressively. In fact, they have no utility now as Mazaalai push B.
It comes down to who can hit their shots. Nua is going to lead the charge and just force Mai out of position. Smoke going to be there, flash being thrown through, and Mai just needs to spam away, but unfortunately gets caught. Q picking up the mantle here, trying to come around the side. Maybe stop the bomb from being planted. Gets himself a second kill. Zuckerberg gets the bomb down and does get the kill onto him, but he's left alone, and Olivia gets himself 2 quick kills, and they will defend the site. They will keep 3 players remaining. And now we're going to have to see. It looks like Beyond most likely go for, or sorry, not Beyond, Mazaalai most likely go for a save unless they want to force up with some pistols and armor.
And we've talked about the downsides in that round for Beyond. The lack of utility, the lack of Molotovs to hold down the B bomb site, which can be so important the majority of the time. In fact, I wouldn't have minded if one of the players took an SMG or even a FAMAS to hold the B site just to have an extra molly to work around. But even still, they come out with 3 players alive, the cleanest round so far. And Mazaalai going in for a force buy, I don't agree with. You look at how they've won versus USPs, Jason, with a better buy than this, it was a 1v1. So where the logic comes in investing into these kind of rounds, I really don't know. I'd much prefer to see them rely on getting an AWP out and winning some of those duels, because at the moment, this seems like they're giving Beyond an opportunity to build up that CT economy.
Well, they are going to send, again, Nuez on the mech 10 towards outside, trying to be a distraction, and what it turned into is some extra money in the pocket for STK. The rotations have come in towards the inner bomb side. Olivia will fall. Again, the Deagles, you can't forget about them, but they lose the op, but at least Mai's going to be there. The shutdown bar taking the bomb will be on site, but no chance to really plant this down, I would imagine. Zuckerberg might be able to pull it off now with that kill he gets onto Mai. Be a big play for him to pull this off somehow in a 1-on-3, but he's going to fall to QQ, and the op will be rescued. And that will be now Beyond tying things up at 2 apiece.
I mean, at least they got a bomb plant in, so there's something to look forward to for the T side. But as I said, that round didn't seem like it was a good buy. I agree with going for force buys when you lose control of your economy if you've had a position where, for example, you're pulling every round into a 1v1 versus full buys, or you lost because of some crazy tactic. But Mazaalai were losing versus USPs again, not due to some crazy 5-man stack or anything like that. It was just they lost a hell of a lot of aim duels, didn't cover their bases when they spread out into defaults. And when you come into this round, the previous, with that kind of investment, I just don't see where you get the confidence to do that from. It's a bit misplaced. Now they're just down to pistols. But as I said, with the money that they built up from the bomb plant, they'll be able to get a decent buyout in the next. But it does mean Beyond will take the lead and most likely not lose any players here.
Oh, I was going to question you, but there's no Deagles, so can't really do that. A little bit of a missed incendiary thrown in towards inner, but shouldn't matter all too much, as it looks like Mazaalai with just the flashbang are going to be looking to push. And Kuka's even rotating around. He's going to be blinded up, tries to back away, and he's not able to in time. He's going to fall. SDK now. Make himself a quick 2-piece, and does have support the rest of his team, and that will be the round over. I'm gonna say almost as quickly as it began, but to be honest, the waiting was longer than the actual action. And that will be Beyond. There you go, getting their 3rd.
The reality is as well, when you come in with P250s and no utility, you're very rarely going to get an engagement that favors you. You really want to take some smokes, even have 2 P250s, 3 smokes, or 2 smokes and a flash, move towards the B site, smoke down, flash over, rush in, maybe you get a bomb plant. That's a far better strategy than hoping Beyond makes some silly mistakes, which so far, they haven't been making too many of. Only when they're overly confident with like a 14-4 lead. An opening duel for QQ, holding down Pop Dog. As Mazaalai looked to just solo drop and hold it, that didn't work whatsoever. Now they're left outside of team main with no support from the right side, and I think they've got to reconsider their strategy at this point. They have no control to flash through, and somehow SDK and QQ able to land those openings with no punishment.
It's so tough for Sugu to die right off the bat as well. There's a shot. Zulkenberg. Not gonna expect a push in though out of Ivy, but to lose someone like right off the bat within the first 15 seconds in like a gun round that you've been struggling to get consistently, it just puts you in such a bad place mentally. And now Nuez gonna be left alone. He knows there's a man protecting the bomb from the back, but he gets the kill on the KNTZ. Now the bomb gonna be picked up. Just like that, it's turned into a one-on-one. And might be getting a little bit lucky here if he continues to hold this position. We can see the rotation coming in through Ivy. But with 40 seconds left, there's still no necessity to commit towards the outside bomb.
I'll give Mazaalai credit on a good round with Nuez, who's been playing really well with a MAC-10 over the previous map, and this has absolutely no idea about the high ground being held by Mayrolls, and Mayrolls spots him, although it takes a second too long to take that kill. It could have been awkward. Luckily, Nuez didn't know where he was being shot from. Fails to get the AWP, though, on the drop down, and so that's going to be quite a costly win for Beyond. But at least now, again, Mazaalai lack the requisite materials to really punish the CTs for it. I guess at the moment, Jason, things are very much panning out as we expect. That round right there was the only one that kind of caught me off guard a little bit. I didn't expect Mazaalai to get so much work done. But now, this is the one that always catches us by surprise. The Deagles.
Yeah, but there's 5 of them though, Mitch. You know what that means?
But by the way, there's going to be people here that weren't here yesterday and so have no idea what we're talking about. It's like, wait, why is 5 worse than 2? Yesterday we had
simple math.
Like, yesterday we had a situation where there was 3 Deagles, you lose. 5 Deagles, you lose. But for some reason, when teams had 2 Deagles, they won every round. It was so odd. So we think it's a proven mathematical formula now.
Yeah, I think even Einstein theorized about it back in the day.
Oh, 100%.
The theory of deagletivity.
That's the one. Was it general deagletivity or special deagletivity?
No, just deagletivity.
Oh, just deagletivity. Okay. I see.
There's nothing special or general about what's happening sometimes with 2 deagles.
That's a fair point.
But it looks like, well, with 2 deagles remaining, oh, now just the one. Unfortunately, the investment here out of Mazaalai only get them 1 kill. Really clean round for Beyond, and I guess a much needed clean round here too. They've had a couple of close calls, but Mai's on 10k. They have the opportunity to go for a double op setup, and they might be doing it. I'm not sure. I mean, there's no necessity. Like, you don't need to change what's already working for you, and I guess they want to keep that extra cash. Kind of makes sense considering you have, 3 players on 3k or less.
I want to keep an eye on Zulkenberg in this round. I want to see what happens with that AWP. He's looking in towards Ivy to do a little bit of damage. Here comes the swing after the jump peak to bait out a shot if an Opera was holding it. The nade, nice and deep. Decent damage off of that, but it's not a worthwhile trade with Nuez falling. It's a well-placed smoke that split them up, and KNTZ gets the reward. With Beyond having a man advantage, you see the immediate rotate from Zulkenberg, who's going to look to flash over as they push down through Pop Dog and out through main. In fact, down through Pop Dog didn't actually happen. I feel like that flash was better placed after Machine Gun had this control. Ooh. Oh, hello! What is that from QQ? A self-nade as well from Machine Gun to one of his teammates. I don't blame him, though. The panic after QQ just blitzed on up. That's not usually the response to seeing a player above Pop as adjacent. Oh, let me go say hi.
I mean, he won the duel technically because he made them nade themselves and they took more damage than he took. But yeah, I don't know what you were trying to accomplish off of that. I guess he put fear into their eyes as they finally do get away from that position. Ortek in the meantime, we've seen, Nuez usually typically do this when he pushes on outside by himself and he's going to be punished, trying to go for the flank, trying to slip through the cracks in the defense. Am I again this position? I don't know how I feel about this spot. I mean, it's not going to be expected. Does get himself only one, but I feel like there's no getting away from there. And well, Machine Gun's gonna fall. Zulkenberg, the last alive, which is the op. And again, this should be beyond taking a 6th round.
This is not the way we needed things to go. For Mazaalai, not getting the gears rolling on that T side really causes problems. You know, at this point, 6-2, I would never really talk so poorly about a T side, but it is very much just based on the context of the previous map and how we expect things to go. If Mazaalai are getting so little done, if they're not winning their opping duels, if they're not getting progress to sites or indeed bomb plants in general, keeping the rounds quite one-sided for Beyond, then I find it hard to believe in a comeback, even though it is the T side.
Well, double op, Mai and Olivia. Well, one op is already causing some problems for Mazaalai. One or two is just going to double. I mean, we know 2 is a magic number as we said with the Deagles. We haven't really talked about the 2 ops just yet. I think in general, it hasn't really been too successful over the course of today and yesterday. We're gonna see how it's gonna work out for them now. Zulkenberg looking for that angle again. Much needed kill for him. He's had such a tough time in their 2 matches. Gonna redeem himself and help get his team maybe their first victory, but obviously has to get that first map victory on the board here. Look how patient and calm though Beyond are being. I mean, they have the man advantage. They're not getting aggressive. They're not pushing anywhere. They're not giving a chance for Mazaalai to equalize things. They're just taking that advantage and running away with it.
Mazaalai are really lacking direction in this round as well. You can see Zulkenberg goes out towards this A site. He's trying to find a pick to cause some rotations, but with a man advantage already in play, Beyond, unless they lose a few players, they're not going to move. So sitting firmly down towards that B bomb site with 2. The bomb is starting to rotate. They have no control of Pop Dog. Now, Beyond haven't pushed in there, but Mazaalai will have to, should have to expend utility to clear it. But instead, they just go dry, using the ladder to try and bait out the shots. It's a risky play, and it didn't work the last time they tried it, but this time no one was there to punish them. They have no idea about STK, though, and he swings through for 3, looking for the final. Mayrolls cleans it up, and 7 for Beyond. They only lose 1 player. That's about as clean as it gets.
Mazaalai taking a timeout for good reason. They have to figure out something. They can't afford to go into the CT half with only 2 rounds, and well, they only netted themselves 3 when it came to Mirage on the CT side. And just everyone's hitting shots. I don't know, Beyond are just looking so well drilled, you know, and that's something that I can't really say about the teams we saw yesterday. I mean, Tiger, they looked mortal. Vici didn't even look that amazing. Bren, I mean, just not smoking spots to, like on Inferno, like attacking B. Why would you not smoke CT spawn over and over again? We just haven't seen this like level of play, I think, or this smooth of play out of a team so far with everyone we've seen. And STK, I mean, that was a great round out of him. They keep this pace up, I think we might just see a quick 2-0.
It's certainly looking likely, Jason, isn't it? Mazaalai looking for a faster round this time. They've got a little bit of utility with their pistols that we talked about before. Stacked up outside of B. And it's going to be the Glock train, although I just wanted to say train, really, because it's the map. It features Tech 9s, P2 Fitties, but only 1 Deagle. They're kind of breaking the formula as well. I think we need to tell all the teams. 2 is what you need. All jokes aside, this is going to be a pretty fast push down. You can see the reaction from Beyond, though. They suspect that the molly on the right allows QQ to focus. Oh, wow, okay. Apparently there's a gap in the molly, I guess.
Oh, man. All with 2 left alive to help maybe get this bomb to blow up, maybe get themselves around. Machine Gun might have been able to do it. Olivia left alone, and they finally get themselves around off the back of Machine Gun, getting an ace. And that's not what you can depend on every round to get rounds on the board, but hell, they did it nonetheless. Finally get some sort of life back within the team. But that's still tough, right? I mean, obviously it was a great shots out of Machine Gun, but he's on 9 kills now, and 5 of those came from this round alone.
Well, for Mazaalai, picking up that round is definitely going to be a big deal. when you've got just those pistols. And also, it's a big deal for us, Jason, because our formula is broken. One deagle works as well. They've taught us that. 3 Tech 9s,
So
though.
2 or less.
2 or less, but with 3 Tech 9s. That's what we got to draw a conclusion on. I think QQ just threw the molly a little bit too deep, so it gave them the opportunity. Here we go. Olivia on 1, but QQ falls after just 1 for himself. Mazaalai get control towards A, but they've left the bomb behind. Only now realizing they're on the site saying, hey, plant the bomb. No, you plant. Wait, where's the bomb? Oh, back behind us. Now they've got to cross back. Give this Opper a chance to pick them off a few more times. Smokes are going to start to dissipate, giving them a chance to find some new sight lines and really punish these T players as they go into the plant. Smoke fades. KNTZ good for 1. The spray down for a second. Stops the plant. And that should be it, but Mayrose is deleted. They don't know about Olivia. He was last seen in Connector, but he's rotated all the way around through the CT spawn and into Ivy to take an 8th for Beyond. A very close one, though. Mazaalai very nearly got on the board for that one.
I mean, you could just see that reflected in the economy and beyond how close these last rounds have really been. We had Myros on like T+ just a few rounds ago where they've been able or been forced to buy up so many teammates because they're losing them time and time again. That still will be the round 1 here for Beyond, and Mazaalai coming so close, just so short in the end, unfortunately. Sogenberg is on 4 kills. He's got the ops going quick out. Team main, and he's gonna have a player off towards his right hand side. He's even gonna spot the player in towards Ivy. That's gonna be KNTZ falling. But Myros in the meantime has gotten aggressive himself. Yeah, I wouldn't want to take that battle against Machine Gun either, to be honest. Not for the shots he's been hitting. But he goes back for it. All right.
Yeah, with an MP5 as well, like, or an MP7. What am I saying? They're occupying the same slot, but only one is silenced. Only one brings us the nostalgia.
And only one of them makes me hate. Thanks.
Mazaalai going to be pushing out towards this A site. Player up close. Again, SDK. Same position as he was in 2 rounds ago. And he's able to take the kills once more. Support coming in from Mayrose. But SDK doesn't need it. He finds another 3K. That's disgusting. Like, he's not even playing E-Box. He's playing close brown train. Peeking wide in towards T-Main. And somehow just consistently finding duels go in his favor.
Oh, man, I don't know what to say. Like, every once in a while, we see, like, a glimpse of life within Mazaalai, and then quickly Beyond just shut that flame off. They suffocated Aver. 9-3. And the buy up here at Mazaalai, it's not good. I don't know. There's many other words I could probably say for it here, Mitch, but that's the nicest I can come up with.
I want to see Mazaalai really on 6 rounds by the end of this half, and that requires some absolutely insane rounds from them. We saw 1 Deagle, 3 Tech 9s, now it's 2 for 2. That molly, this time not going to miss. It's up nice and deep on the ramp. Olivia got a long angle, but you have to suspect the smoke will come down. Where's Sogu right now? Yeah, he's going towards the ramp, so he'll smoke down lower. They'll flash out upper, and then make their way over. It's Machine Gun's flash. Now the waterfall down to the site. Mayro is going to be in a lot of trouble on this one. They're already all over site. If he pushes through the smoke, he's likely dead. He realizes it. And so just tucks in Olivia on a double from far back, playing the back of oil. Now Mazaalai being picked off. They've already managed their goal of getting the bomb plant down to help them out in the next round. If they can find any more, they'd be more than happy. The 2v3, but Bartak, as he comes back out, Olivia was just scoped in waiting for it. And again, I love the diffusing thing on the top left that actually shows you the time exactly, because it just takes away any of that, oh, will he, won't he? We know exactly how long's left. Obviously not in a situation like that. I think no matter what, even a 10-second defuse, we would know that he had it, but when it gets a little bit closer. And also, the fact that we have the timer up the top that shows you how long's left on the bomb.
Yeah, I like that, actually. I like being able to see, like, if they do have the time, plus it prevents me from sounding like an idiot saying they don't have time when they do.
Yeah,
that makes me, anything that makes me less of an idiot, I approve of.
That's happened to me a million times more in Valorant, though. God, they've made that sound like the bomb's going to blow up from the time you plant it.
Well, I don't know what game you're playing because it's called a spike in Valorant, but you know.
No, sorry. Oh, no. They run. That is just terrible. So they ran across. Oh, that nade going to push him out in the open again, but Nuez lines them up and takes a double. How's he managed that? An AWP in his hands now as well with 3 health left. From a situation that looked like it was a surefire loss, probably in the round, Mazaalai have a man advantage. That's nuts.
I don't know how this happens. Nuez may be tired of being the punching bag for the teams. He's been the one set out and sacrificed time and time again. Bomb going to be going down towards the inner bomb site now. Oh, he fell off at the worst time. Milo's going to still fall, and maybe Nuez should be picking up the op for his team at this rate. 3 kills. STK the last alive, and he's just going to run away to go for the save.
I don't think he has another choice, really. So that round started out with Olivia finding the opening duel. He took down Zilkenberg on the op after Nuez had ran across, jumped, and drawn some fire. Unfortunately for him, he drew the fire of the M4 that was up close, and so went down to like 10 HP. Then a nade goes through. That looks sure to finish him, but he only takes 7 damage from it. Thing is, it's pushed him out into the open. So from that point, you're again thinking, okay, well, he's definitely dead. But then when the swing comes through, somehow he sprays both players down. Olivia lined up behind. And here it is. From his perspective, it was the first shot onto Olivia and then after KNDZ. That is gorgeous. So well played by Nuez.
They needed him to come up big when he did. But still, 4 rounds T-side. I mean, would you be happy with that? With only 4 rounds? Maybe a 5th here?
God, no.
I mean, especially when you're playing against Beyond, who have already shown they can do some serious work on T-side.
If they can get 5, I would be happy. Especially if, in general, just generally on train, I would be content. And then if I can find the pistol, you're back in the game, really. Oh, great shot by Bartek. Olivia's not having a good time these last 2 rounds. And the opening duel's going to Mazaalai. They seize so much control as well. That's the thing. It's not just, oh, they found the opening duel. Great. It's that immediately they react and they blitz out, seize the control that they know they deserve now after that kill.
Seems like the pressure's on for Beyond. He's looking look how aggressive he's getting here off towards the side. Nuez again. He's really come alive in the last few rounds. And it's just pretty much Myro's left alone with, well, definitely not the best gun in the world here. And this has to be a 10-5 first half. Seems like Mazaalai really kind of come into their own. Though unfortunately, towards the later stages of this first half, they definitely needed to get more rounds. But at least it gets them into a good position going towards CT side, right? This could have been a completely different story. And there we go. 10-5. Mazaalai still have the chance.
They do. The chances are there. But again, we highlighted, or you were just mentioning a round or 2 ago, as we talked about in the other, in the pre-show, how the T-side's been absolutely spectacular for Beyond. And when it comes through to their attack, Mazaalai are not going to have any mercy. Their rotates are going to have to be on point. Their buys in general looked weak in the start, but let's hope now they're warmed up. I want to see this one as a close game here on train. And for that to happen, Mazaalai really need to win this pistol round. Force buying up on the CT side always gives you a disadvantage if you do lose that pistol. And Beyond look quickly to move to the B site. Sogu has spotted that, I think, because he's falling back, but nobody's rotating. They're still leaving him all by himself.
I mean, at least they have the kit on machine gun. But only the smoke to provide any sort of opportunity. But there's no Molotov. I actually kind of like this smoke vibe out of him. Because typically when you see people go inner like this, they have a Molotov. They sit a guy upper. They just try to throw the molly on top of it whenever it's being defused. So you're looking to push up. It's that first shot. He's going to put up towards the side, and he will fall this time to QQ as Bill can actually charge forward for some more here. That's going to be Bartek now falling, and QQ even wants more off of this. He just has to go for the reload. A man towards his right. Olivia flanking from behind. Zilkenberg is just fighting against the entire world here as he will fall. What? I was getting scared there when the 1-2 tap coming into Olivia and QQ, but that still will be the pistol round taken for Beyond.
It will indeed. Getting revenge for the round where QQ almost aced in that first half. And with 11 on the board, I want to see what Mazaalai do, and indeed they're already doing it. They're going in for the force. And look at what it consists of. an SMG for Sogu, pistols, and a double scout setup. Machine Gun and Zilkenberg, who've been taking the scopes throughout this series. My concern is that they're coming up against 3 smokes. Generally, when you've only got 3, you're going to look at a more direct strategy. The slow rounds don't play out quite as frequently. And I imagine, based on the 2 players going to Ivy, this is going to be a take towards the A site. If they manage to push these scouts back, close off the angles with their 3 smokes, I think at that point, Mazaalai will pretty much be able to count themselves out of it. It's going to be a very, very rough round for them as the T's give up Ivy control, but all start to move towards T main. It's going to be a 5-man T main push.
You got the rifles for it. I'd still be a little bit worried, though, going quickly. And they have pistols bought up. No deagles, though. But they do have the double scouts. So it's just about connecting. The nade going to help soften them up, maybe make them one-shottable. And, well, there you go. Comes in. Zilkenberg gets the first. Myro is going to be one shot as well. Unfortunately, Zilkenberg's not able to hit the follow-up shot. And it's just going all the way here beyond now. Ever since that first frag did come through, and, well, Machine waiting for that smoke to dissipate. Attention, get a kill or 2 here. Almost pulls off the headshot. And that's just Sugu left alone. 1-on-4. And it looks like Beyond should be taking themselves another round.
Yeah, like I said, those CT force buys never really put you in a better position. That's the funny thing. So the ideal pistol round for a T side, if you're going to lose it, if you get the bomb plants and you lose the round, you end up in a better economic position than your opponents do. Like, you can come in with AKs, and they've got probably SMGs, FAMAS at best. And even then, they've got the FAMAS out, they haven't got the utility, they haven't got the kit. So it's a very unbalanced round where you're coming up against 2 to 3 AKs. But when you're on the CT side and you lose the pistol, you're just screwed. You can get SMG, like we saw, you know, an SMG, some pistols, and double scouts. But when you're up against AKs with utility, that's generally not going to be enough. Even with the well-placed nade, they didn't manage to finish off May rolls.
See those shots to hit on the scout too. I mean, if you just soften them up enough. I mean, I like the play to Zilkenberg because he basically 1-2 comboed it himself, right? He naded, he goes onto QQ, and then he hits him with a shot right after. Quick little kill, and as we saw them all grouped up inside of main, that could have been, you know, a bunch more damage if they followed up with another nade. But now, well, Sugu, I was gonna say he had an SMG. Technically, I am right because he did have it, but it's gone. The machine gun can be the only one with a bought up weapon, just with the P250. I think it's important here for Beyond to, like, just have a clean round, right? Because their economy for the most part of the first half was fantastic. Only we got into like the last 5 rounds that they really start to lose out on everything.
It is worth mentioning as well, Jason, just while I criticized the force buy from the previous round, and why I hoped that Mazaalai would go for an eco, you'll hear me and lots of people when it comes down to the very same situation in a different game saying how much we love the double scout buy, especially on train, how much, you know, potential that kind of investment has because of the damage output it can do. Even getting the nade on the scouts even better. You got an SMG that can clean them up, as you're saying, if they soften them up. I love those buys generally. My god, Zilkenberg, he should be dead now, right? But the problem is, in the context of this game, it doesn't make sense to me. It's the same as when we saw Mazaalai force buy after losing the second or third round in the first half. Beyond are better than you. As individuals, the firepower is well in their favor. So when you force buy, I don't get it. I would much rather you wait one more round and get the rifles out. They had the opportunity to even get an AWP, right? In the previous one where they took the, what was it, Tech 9s and all that sort of stuff. And it seems senseless to me. When you,
I mean, if you're struggling to win on equal footing in terms of weaponry,
yes,
and how do you expect to win when you're at a deficit?
Exactly. And that's why, like, you'll see plenty of times I'm gonna be probably later on in this tournament, tomorrow, or in the coming days, you'll see this exact same situation. I'll be complimenting the team force buying and saying how much potential they have, but it's just the fact that Mazaalai aren't in a position to say, oh, well, we can just outgun them, because no, you can't. It's been well proven now.
Looks like there's going to be a big stack towards the inner site, though, for Mazaalai in this round. Two players tucked away, two potentially on the quick rotate, and here we see the smokes being thrown in. ANTZ trying to watch their backs. As Nuez has been able to get up, but unfortunately he does get dropped. Will ANTZ expect a second player is going to be my question. He tries to drop in directly on top of him for a Goomba Stomp, but he's going to fall. Bomb make its way in towards site. A big kill comes in for Bartek. His second keeps the pressure on from the backside here for the T side of Beyond, and they're going to actually look to push in towards outer, it seems. Maybe just to look to clear the site. They have time to do it. You see, there's no one here, but there's going to be two players over towards CT spawn. Zuckerberg's expecting it, but he misses the shot. You can't afford to be missing like this. And that's going to be the bomb going down.
STK, he's always been good for a few. He's already got two, but Machine Gun able to close out the round for Mazaalai. They do it here on the equal footing. Getting the AWP carried forward. And a defuse to come in. That's one hell of a round for Mazaalai as they needed it. It was now or never really. Beyond were about to take it 15 on the board had they have won this one here and forced their opponents to an eco. But instead, a lifeline extended to the CT side. An opportunity to come back into train. To be clear, I don't believe in that opportunity. But, you know, you never know. Sometimes you're caught by surprise.
There's moments of, like, individual glory, right? Like Machine Gun, he got the ace in, you know, a couple rounds prior, and we're like, oh, that's phenomenal, right? Or sorry, that's, I think, in the first half. But we're not seeing consistency. Like, we know they can pop off. We know they can have big rounds, but we're not seeing them consistently play well across the board as a whole team, and you can't depend on one player to clutch something out. Again, Zuckerberg, that's 3 shots he just missed within this round and the last. And then you have QQ come in and pull off kills like that. He gets a quick triple and a quad kill, right? Like, not only are Beyond playing consistent, but they also have those pop-off moments. And I don't know how Mazaalai can kind of compete with that.
I mean, the reality is they can't, isn't it? Like, from what we've seen so far, I think it's unfair to overly criticize them just because of the level that Mazaalai are playing at. But we did talk about Beyond. We said how solid of a team they are. They're an absolutely incredible one. Up against Invictus, they had a really close series in the Pro League qualifiers. That was where they, what was it, 28-25, I think, on Inferno. It was nuts.
Yeah.
Overtime after overtime. It really could have went either way. And these are one of the teams, honestly, I could see Beyond in with a shot of taking it. If they turn up on the day, feeling good, hitting their shots, get a good veto up against the likes of Tyloo, Vici, they could definitely do the damage, if not win a series versus them.
I think there's, like, technically room to talk about them maybe taking the whole event, actually. I mean, obviously, they had, like, a 5th, 6th place finish when it came to the road to Rio. But I've already seen things out of them just in their first map alone that has been lacking in all of our other matches. And obviously, there's still some cleanup to do when you have, like, a 12-3 first half on Mirage. You expect them to... Actually, I guess 65 is really not that bad. I mean, here, I guess you could say, I mean, 10-5, you're maybe expecting them to close things out a little bit quicker. But then again, it is Train. But this is definitely, like, a team to watch out for, I'd say. And they definitely have, like, improved since their last RMR event. I just want to see how far they really can go. I want to see them, like, against Tyloo or them against Tigers or something to see what they're really about.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the later stages of the tournaments when we get those out. The Tiger, Tyloo, Vici, Beyond, Invictus. Any of those teams playing against each other, it's going to be absolutely insane games. Oh, I thought that was going to be a little lineup. I think the train got in the way. QQ in with a double. Absolutely ruining these players. And, well, Jason, it's looking like it's over.
Yeah. I think we're going to see a 16-6 here. Sugu, I know he's a good player. And he hasn't spawned out, so he gets a good shot on the first, but that's going to do it. And, you know, I was expecting a much closer match today, to be honest. I was hoping for a much closer match, since we only got to cast one